Greetings, redheads. Thank you for joining me in another edition of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. Of course, I am your gracious host, the one and only most honorable J Red. You can call me DJ J Red, Reds View, whatever you want to call me. All right, but I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to get it in. Before I begin this video, per usual, I want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/@RedsView if you have not already. If you're new to the channel, check out the content. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. All right. So let's go ahead and get into what we're talking about. I've been off the grid for a second because I went to Mobile to DJ for Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras, the birthplace. Mobile is the birthplace of Mardi Gras. We had a great time. We had a blast. And so I've been off this past week in preparation for that. Had a good time. But I didn't get a chance to cover this hot topic that's still going on because this gentleman is still talking about it. So LaRussell, rapper LaRussell, who's been in the headlines for the past couple of weeks, not because of what we're about to talk about now, but he signed a deal with Rock Nation after calling Rock Nation out. You know what I'm saying? So LaRussell has been in this microphone kind of distant, but LaRussell has been in the news heavy, and this added fuel to the fire. Now, I'm not really I don't really know too much about the guy, to be honest. I hear he's a great artist. I need to tap into him. But he had some things to say about Lil Wayne that sparked a lot of controversy. Okay. Now, some people have called him out on it. Some people have been agreeing with him. But before I give my opinion on it, let's look at what the gentleman said about Lil Wayne. All right. So LaRussell was on this podcast. I'm not sure exactly what it was called, but shout out to this podcast. This is Fair Use, Fair Use. The conversation about Lil Wayne came up. Now, this isn't the full, it's an 8-minute clip altogether, right? But this, from my understanding, Wayne was brought up as a topic, and then LaRussell chimed in. So LaRussell didn't just go on a rant talking about Lil Wayne, but this is what was said about him. Fair use, fair use.
He had a conviction.
I had a moment in my journey where I had grew a disdain for Wayne just because I started listening to everything. Like I started maturing as a human, and I'm like, damn, this nigga wasn't talking about nothing.
Let's pause it right there. Okay. Let's pause it right there. So he just said, I matured. And I realized this man ain't talking about nothing. Let's play that again. Hold on.
Human, and I'm like listening to everything. Like I started maturing as a human, and I'm like, damn, this nigga wasn't talking about nothing for a long time. And
I think that's what his argument was.
You know, like as someone who like grew up in these communities, right, and grew up with homies who I seen want to be bloods because they following Wayne and want to be gangster and want to shoot all the gun bar and shit. Right. Like I've seen the negative that he contributed to the community, and I had to look like, man, what are the songs where he really talked about something and gave? And out of a 1,000-song catalog, you know, it's minute on this end.
It's like Georgia Bush,
and that do bother me. Tie My Hands.
That's what I was going to say. Tie My Hands,
right?
So they're starting to name some songs that Wayne did that had content. Okay, so let's tell the truth. Okay, let's get out of our feelings. LaRussell told the quiet part out loud about Lil Wayne. LaRussell told the harsh truth about Lil Wayne, something that other people have been saying for the last few years. Okay, here's the truth. Lil Wayne is a legend. He's a GOAT, one of the greatest to ever do it. However, probably like three things. However, right? Lil Wayne is more of an era rapper. Okay. When I say Lil Wayne is an era rapper, that means that in his prime, it was during an era, and Lil Wayne has been stuck in that era. See, Lil Wayne is an era rapper. When you think of Lil Wayne, some people may think of the Carter. Some people may think of the Block is Hot. Some people may think of this, that, and the third. But mainly, when you think about hit-making Wayne, dominant in the rap game Wayne, you're thinking about mixtape Wheezy. Wayne was dominant in his prime, but his prime was mixtapes. Mixtapes, unfortunately, was an era. anytime you go to somebody and ask them what's their favorite Lil Wayne song, most of the time they're going to think about Lil Wayne's features or Lil Wayne's mixtape tracks. The problem with that is that was during the mixtape era, which he was dominant in. You know, when he was dominant there, the focal point wasn't really about his album so much. It was about how good he was as a rapper. He was the best rapper alive. To this day, I think he's still one of the best rappers alive, just the way he puts words together. But the truth is, when you talk about substance and content, that's what Lil Wayne has lacked in since, I'd say, Carter 3. Okay, maybe even a little before that. But when you think about Wayne, I'm not saying Wayne has to be a conscious rapper. I'm not saying Wayne has to be a political rapper, nothing like that. But the truth is, Lil Wayne's fan base, his audience, have outgrown him. This is what he's talking about. This is what LaRussell is talking about. See, the thing is, the millennials that listen to Lil Wayne, right? We all have grown up. Some of us are married. Some of us have families, have kids, went through real life issues. A lot of us are in our 40s. Lil Wayne is in his 40s. Some of people are in their 40s, late 30s, early 30s. So when you grow as a person, you want your artist to grow with you. Somebody like Nas, for example, Nas is in his 50s, and when he's rapping on King's Disease, you hear him talking about investments, tech investments, real life situations, like having a daughter going through things. Jay-Z has an album talking about 444. You know what I'm saying? Like that 444 album was talking about real situations. Lil Wayne doesn't have a story. You don't really know about Lil Wayne's life outside of what's presented to us, you know, through news and things like that. Lil Wayne doesn't do interviews. You don't know anything about Wayne except him being the best rapper alive. That's what he thrived on since what, 06. And he's dominated. But the thing is, when you look back at what he's known for and what he's popular for, there isn't any substance. And when you realize it, when you look back and listen to it, like you think about your college days, you think about your high school days, elementary days, drinking, sipping on lean, smoking weed, blood gang, all this other stuff. That's cool, but that was all for a moment. He was displaying dope lyricism, but it was no substance to it. Those mixtape tracks, he was just talking about some of everything, having the metaphors, the similes, putting words together. And to this day, I don't think there's a rapper out that can really put words together like those similes, like Lil Wayne can do. For real. He's still one of the dopest rappers out. Don't get me twisted. But when your audience grows, they want something to reflect back on. We want something to look back on, like we can go back to Illmatic. We can go back to Reasonable Doubt. You can go back to the Marshall Mathers LP. You can go back to the list just goes on. But when you don't have enough content, which Lil Wayne lacked in from the Carter 3 all the way up. See, those mixtapes, see, the thing is, yeah, he's legendary. When it comes to the Drought, to No Ceilings, all of that is cool. But first off, those mixtape tracks, those were free tracks, and a lot of them were rapping other people's songs. See, Wayne, a lot of his top tier verses were rapping other people's songs. Some of that isn't on streaming platforms. You may find it on YouTube, but if I need to go listen to Reasonable Doubt, I could pull that up on my Apple Music. If I want to go listen to Illmatic, I could pull that up on my Apple Music. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. I can name every classic album, you know, from All Eyes on Me to Life After Death. I can go and pull that up. I can't pull that up with every Lil Wayne mixtape. And he put out so much music to where you were in this hurricane of just domination. So when the storm is over, you're looking back and you're like, okay, that was a fun time, but it was like a roller coaster. Do you really want to go back on the roller coaster again? Or when you get older, you're like, oh, I'm going to just stick right here. I'm going to stay right here. You know, as you get older, do you want to go and swim in the deep end again, like all the way in the beach like you used to do when you was a kid? Or do you want to stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to? When you get older, your fan base grows older with you. So with LaRussell talking about that, he's talking about the substance. Now, I'm not criticizing Wayne of the, you know, blood gang, shoot him up, blah, 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 and what he contributed back to him, you know, all that stuff. Because That's the same thing people say about NWA, gangster rap, all this other stuff. Rappers have the freedom to display their artistic expression however they want to do it, right? But the problem with Lil Wayne is he hasn't grown with his audience. It still feels like Lil Wayne is stuck in like 2014, 2013. It doesn't feel like he's grown as an artist. As sad as it sounds, that's just the truth. But when we say that, that's not disrespecting him or his legacy. He had a cool time, but I don't look forward to new Lil Wayne music, new Lil Wayne albums. People trashed the Carter 6. The Carter 6 got trashed because of what I'm talking about, the lack of substance. What is he rapping about? And another thing is Wayne is a freestyle rapper, meaning he doesn't write his, well, I ain't gonna say freestyle rapper. He doesn't write his rhymes down. So the thing is, that's a gift and a curse. Not for every rapper, but if you don't sit down and write your rhymes, then for him, he doesn't stay on a subject. He just, the only thing he'll stay on a subject with is if it's a song about money or, I don't know, maybe stunting on somebody. But you know, even with sex songs and stuff like that, he's just all over the place. You know, now he can still rap. Wayne can still rap his ass off. There's no denying that. But when it comes to what you're remembered for, your legacy, if you don't have those albums that are set in tone, you know, set in stone, like all the classics that I named now, Carter 1, I love that. I can still go back and listen to that, right? But that's before Wayne blew the hell up. Carter 2 is before Wayne blew the hell up. What most people, I'm talking about from Gen Zers all the way up, know him for now, what most people know Lil Wayne for now is those mixtape tracks and his feature run, okay? But all of that was an era. See, the thing is with rappers like Jay-Z and Nas and Eminem, you know, they were able to go through different eras. LL Cool J came out of the 80s and was going through different eras. Wayne did too for a second, you know, because he came out of that 90s era and then was in the early 2000s era. And then he transformed to the Lil Wayne mixtape Weezy like we knew it, like we've known it. And then he stopped. See, Jay-Z can put out an album today and it's refreshing. Nas can do the same thing. Now, Nas may not sell as much as he used to, right? But he's still relevant. Lil Wayne is relevant to an extent, but his music has not grown. And that's because he's secluded and stuck into where he is. You know what I'm saying? So LaRussell told no lie. Now, LaRussell has been talking about it. He's addressed it to me. Y'all didn't see the 8-minute clip and da-da-da-da-da. I saw the full 8-minute clip and it didn't change anything. You said what you said, stand on that. You know, now the thing is, will this hurt or harm LaRussell with all this negative attention? I talked about this on the Dead End Hip Hop podcast. Y'all check me out on that. I've been on there for the last couple of weeks. Shout out to my guys. But I don't know if it's going to affect him in a way. I think he needs to, you know, to take advantage of this moment. If I was him, I would get Lil Wayne on a track. All of this will be solved if LaRussell gets Lil Wayne to hop on a track with him, then it'll work in his favor. But right now, you're gonna have the Weezy fans going in on you, and it feels like since you haven't went platinum, I don't know, has LaRussell went platinum? I don't know, but since you're not as successful as Lil Wayne, since you're, you know, not as big as like a Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, it's like, who are you to speak on it? But he was just expressing what he felt, and I don't think he told any lies about that. That's the truth. He told the truth. So if people don't like it, you can kick rocks. It's just the truth, man. But it's not disrespecting Wayne, but it's telling the truth about Wayne. But y'all let me know in the comments what you feel about that. Do you think LaRussell was in the wrong? Do you think his career is over because of this, because of all the negative attention? Or do you agree with what I'm saying? I want to know. Drop a comment. Let me know.